Yes, good evening. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. And this is the What Are We Doing Here podcast. Perchy, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You're running late. I'm having technical
No.
issues.
I wasn't running late. I wasn't running late. I had to go in the office today in London and I've had to rush back for this show. So everyone in the chat, you can thank me for keeping this place running smoothly. Yes, I was a little bit late. The train was slow coming home, but I got home for this. What are we doing here? We've got a lot to talk about because I love these weekly shows because there's so much that happens. There's loads to talk about, right?
Yeah, listen, absolutely. What are we doing here? Well, first and foremost, before we get started, I'm just going to call out someone in the chat, my mate Mappin. I like it, Perchy. I like it when people say things with such certainty and haven't done their homework. And I'm going to call it out because I'm asking Mappin, what are we doing here? This is the show. What are we doing here? And I'm going to take you back to this ridiculous comment, right? I'm going to take you back to a couple of ridiculous comments. First and foremost, yeah, I love this. He's watched, this is about Harvey Elliott. We'll talk about Harvey Elliott later. I've watched him through the years and he has no eye for a pass, right? First of all, I crack decent shooting ability, but loses the ball way too often. He's a road runner who works hard. We need a different profile. Okay, fair enough. So Mappin went on to say, we need someone who can carry the ball from deep quickly, switch the plays. We need to be playing a lot of transition passes under Frank. Also, someone who is mobile enough. Elliott is not the one. Right. Now, when I had this argument earlier, he told me Nico Paz was better. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to bring up a stat which shows that everything that Mappin has just said in my chat is absolute toilet. What was it? No eye for a pass, ball carrying. Let's have a look, shall we? This is Harvey Elliott. This is Harvey Elliott. Oh, look, all of his key attributes, key passes, progressive passes, forward passes, ball carrying, all of his major strengths is everything that Mappin has just told us that he's not very good at. Now, let me add in his boy, who he assures me is much better. By the way, I really like this guy, right? I really like this guy.
Oh, no. You've had a stinker there, boy.
Mappin, do you want to just a little sorry to the audience for saying things without really doing your homework? Oh, damn, Mappin. Damn. Yeah, this is the problem. And what you've got here,
Maddison.
Right? What you've got, and he's just scored for Liverpool apparently as well. What you've got here, right?
You couldn't write. That's quite funny. What a start! I like this.
What you've got here, Perchy. This goes to show. This is perfect for the title of the show. What are we doing here, right? Lots of people don't do their homework on footballers and make up what they're good or bad at. Everything I'm seeing there from Harvey Elliott in the blue is every reason why I want him.
Yeah.
Passing, ball carrying, progressive passes, eye for a goal, loads of experience. By the way, Nico Paz, very good footballer. Anyway, just thought I'd get that in, Perchy. I love to put people in the mud. It's good fun. Perchy, what are we doing here? 28 days to go in the transfer window. We've got no good forwards. We've got one good winger, no playmakers, and no fit left backs. Other than that, everything is looking rosy in the Tottenham Hotspur garden, isn't it?
It is. Daniel Levy told us it is. So, of course, it will be. Look, I think, first and foremost, what happened to Maddison was horrible. Like, I mean, that looked nasty. When I was watching, I went, that's a naughty. Like, we always have this conversation, like, about, when it's a bad one, just on their reaction, right? You could just tell their reaction that wasn't a good one. Yeah, so we've got to go get someone creative. And I think it's really important if you want to start well. I think Frank is going to be living and breathing off the start of the season to an extent. And if you've got no one in that 10 that's going to be creative, that's the worry. The problem that you end up having is then you've got to start finding it within if you don't go and bring someone in. So the question is do you use someone like Donnelly? Not ideal. Do you then play Bergvall there? Again, not really ideal. Then you're starting to go, well, then does Kudos go in there? Like, then you start going, well, where is it? And then you're starting to basically do the whole thing, which we always talk about, square pegs, round holes, right? So, yeah, look, I think we will go and get in a number 10 before the window. I think we will go and get in a 10 that can also play out wide. I think they'll get a sort of a hybrid-y sort of player like a Jack Grealish, which we might talk about a bit later.
Yeah, we will. We'll talk about it because one of the things Perchy sets me targets for this show, by the way.
I do actually. I set homework, by the way.
He says things like, right, tonight segment, pick this many players. Okay. So he's asked me to pick 5 10s and 5 left wingers. We will get into it in a little bit. We don't know who each other have picked, but I believe that the only rule was you're not allowed to mention Eze.
Eze's not allowed to be Eze's not allowed to be mentioned in it because I feel like we're coming to a situation. I've had a conversation with a few of my mates about it, and they just go, Eze. Well, I go, guys, there is other football players than Eberechi Eze. And I just think we're at a stage where we've kind of convinced ourselves as a fan base that he's the only player that will fit what we want when there are tons of players out there.
No, listen, I agree. And listen, we've talked about this a lot. Spurs have got to go big. Nothing for me has changed other than adding an attacking midfielder to our transfer list. That's what yesterday did for me. Nothing's changed. Still wanted a striker. Still want a left winger. The only thing that's changed from yesterday is, we need creativity. And Kulu, we don't know. We're not sure when he's coming back. But listen, you cannot start a Champions League campaign without a creative footballer. It will be an absolute nightmare. But hey, it is what it is. I've just been looking at the squad, by the way, Perchy, as well. I'm not sure if I can bring it up on here. I've just worked out that our squad, where is it? Our squad is, hear me out. Our squad is 28 plus 12 who are allowed to go out on loan. Some that have already gone and the others that Alistair Gold today said Spurs were looking to loan. 28 plus 12 on loan. Of those 28, 5 are currently injured. And you would expect that from that 28, by the way, that does include the likes of Brian Hill. That does include Solomon. It does include Basuma, Richarlison. And you would expect 3 or 4 of these to go, right? So we need players. We need some top footballers very quick. We'll get into that a little bit later. We'll also talk a little bit about Mr. Daniel Levy, who, no matter how calm he was, still getting pelters.
Your chairman, Savva. Your chairman.
That's Sean,
Mr. Levy.
Chairman.
Sean's chairman.
Was chairman. By the way, Lookman, who didn't turn up for training today, that Fabrizio Romano's just pointed out. Lookman didn't turn up for training, handed in a transfer request. I would absolutely love Lookman at Tottenham, but looks like Inter want him, whether they've got the money or not. Perchy, we're into what they call the business end of the transfer window. This is the equivalent to the last 10 games of a title race. This is where your season is won or lost by what we do in the next 28 days. Daniel Levy, let's talk about this now. Daniel Levy has gone on to the overlap, whether that was a good move by him or bad news. Or a bad move will probably be set by what we do in the next 28 days of the transfer window. He's reiterated again, I want to win leagues. I want to win Champions Leagues. I will back the manager to the best of our ability. And he said he's now got the taste for it after winning the Europa League. Has he set himself up for a fall? Or has Levy got it and we're going to see a really good last month of the window?
It's a good point, right? I think Levy's in a position where he's in a lose-lose position, really, right? And I say this within reason and within because I think no matter what I think there is I'm talking about there is a portion now of the fan base that will be no matter what, they don't want this guy. and that's fine, right? I'm not sitting here telling people they should or shouldn't believe him, right? Like, we could go and sign Rodrigo. Sean, I saw that. You're shameless, by the way, Sean. There's a shout out to Sean and his shameless video about Rodrigo. That's not happening. Huh?
Is he in it?
I don't know. I'm just reiterating. My point is if we go and sign
Rodrigo. Sean was in here. I thought he was in here.
No, I'm just saying, if he is in here, by the way, you are shameless, Sean. I'm just saying you should get called out later on the Spurs fight. Plug for your show later. But my point is we go and sign someone like a Rodrigo, for example, there will still be people moaning that we've not signed Vinicius Jr. So I feel like we're in I think whatever Levy does it in some people's minds, it won't change. For me, look, I think with that interview was good PR on his perspective, by the way. How it was done, I don't know how they've done it, but he did come across really well. I'm not sitting here saying I want to keep him as a chairman or whatever, like, but whatever they've done with it, it came across really, really well for him in that sense of it, from an onlooker of watching it. But yeah, look, I think the thing is it's not even about going in there and getting. Yeah, go on.
So I was going to say, but it's now. Listen, I agree with you. By the way, I don't think. Listen, for me, I'm not one of these that. Listen, I don't want Levy and Inikia. I think they've taken us as far as they can, unless they prove otherwise. But I'm not one that feels the need to bash him at every turn. What I watched today was a decent 30 minutes of content. I don't think we found out anything we didn't already know. But he has reiterated again that he wants to win things, that he wants to back managers, that he's got a taste for it. And it will be very embarrassing for him if we get to the end of the window and after doing it on two separate occasions, one with Vinay, now one with the overlap, to not buy players that suggest his words match his actions.
So look, I'll play devil's advocate for this conversation, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, we sign Jack Grealish and we sign just another centre half and a left back or whatever. Like, say we get three more players that go straight into our 11 from now until the end of the window. Are we then to sit there and say, well, Daniel Levy is backed Thomas Frank in that perspective, right? By the way, I'm not saying that we will. I'm just saying hypothetically, because I feel like when I hear this all the time of backing the manager, I always sit back and go, what does that mean? I always ask that question, what does that mean? Does that mean him getting the best players we can get as a football club right now? Or is this some sort of overarching view where all of a sudden we need to go in and get a world-class player, which I think most of us that are level-headed, we're not in the market right now as a football club to go and get in a world-class player. Does that do you see what I'm trying to get at? What perspective are we talking at?
No, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you, mate. I mean, look, I've always said, I don't think that to win, I don't think that to be a top team, you have to have a team full of world beaters. I think you've got to have the perfect mixture of a good coach with a good defense that are hard to beat and a team that are efficient going forward. Now, can that be achieved? Well, look what Poch took us.
Yeah.
Stanley, by the way, Stanley might not make it through this next 28 days of this transfer window. Hello, by the way. So I was shouting at Stanley and didn't even say hello to my wife who's just walked in from work. If Stanley makes it to the first game of the season, I'll be very surprised with his behavior at times. Like when Poch put a team together without signing superstars, didn't he? You know, Rose and Walker were signed as kids. Vertonghen from Ajax. Alderweireld wasn't getting any game time at Atletico.
Wanyama Southampton.
From Fulham. Wanyama Southampton. Ali Milton Keynes. Kane from the youth team. Eriksson as a kid from Ajax, right? All of this, Son from Leverkusen. You can do it like that to a point, but there then becomes a point where once you've built that, you now need to start doing the old salt BAE and sprinkling, don't you? You need to sprinkle.
Sorry, who calls it salt BAE?
What's his name?
Salt Bay. Who calls it salt BAE?
Mate, I don't know. Why is his name Salt Bay?
Oh no, he's a weirdo in itself. I was like, okay, he is, but I mean, who calls it salt BAE?
Just because you think you're cool. Basically, every time, by the way, I don't understand one of these kids' sayings, I have to ask Perchy what it means. So I'm like, what does this mean? I don't know, mate. I talk English, like the Queen's English.
You didn't know what YLSTI meant the other day.
Oh, well, what was that? Oh, hang on. In what context was that?
I think we were in, like, it was when the news came in about Paulinho, and I went YLTS, and you went, what the hell do you want about? I went, you love to see it.
Oh, you love to see it. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't know all that stuff. I don't know. Like myself and we don't watch Love Island and stuff like you do, where you pick up all your little
final
phrases.
Tonight. Big up the final of Love Island tonight.
Oh, big up the final of Love Island. Please make sure you all watch that instead of the Spurs 5. Absolutely. But on a serious note, I don't think it takes, and I'm going to show you what I mean by this, Perchy. I've just in the background put a little team together of something that I think should be very, very doable. Very, very doable. And I think this team challenges for 5th, right? Let me know what you think. Share screen. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So that team, by the way, we're 3 short of that. We're 3 short of that being a reality. We are, a Jack Grealish loan, Harvey Elliott at 40 million, and Wissa at 40, 45.
Sure.
Now, would you be happy with that? Let me know in the chat, people. Would you lot be happy with that 11? Bearing in mind it's Frank's first season, right? Bearing in mind we just finished 17th. If I was to say that loosely, this was the best 11 we would put out, and then you've got the bench of people like Solanke and Johnson and Tell and Bergval and Gray and Sarr and Danso and Doug. Would you be happy with that?
Look, I think even if it was 2 of the 3, I wouldn't be against it. I think even with 2 of those 3, I'm not massively against it. I think Wiss is going to be the interesting one of those. I think Grealish and Elliott are easy to go and get. I don't think there should be a reason why we can't get Grealish on loan with an option to buy at £30 million should be the sort of deal we're getting in there. Now, I think that fits in well. Harvey Elliott wants more game time. I think we can give him that, definitely. I think, again, another one you could probably get between 30 to 40 million. Look, you get those 2, and then you may not be able to get a Wissa because he might go somewhere else. Maybe Newcastle jump ahead because they are in and want a striker, and you have to stay with Solanke for a year. I think that team gets top 6. I think then that way, then what you do is you go next season, you go, okay, striker has to be the most important position next season. But again, I'm at that position where I think you can get 2 good players in this window, transform us, right? Transform us. And I think Jack Grealish, I think, is a no-brainer. I had this conversation. I said, right now, we are crying out for a number 10, and we're also crying out for a better left winger. We'll go get Jack Grealish. You can do both. Because when Maddison does come back fit and Kulu get back, they will naturally fall back into that number 10 position. But then that way, you've then got a Jack Grealish and go left wing. Bob's your uncle. That's an easy job to get that done. And all the people that are against that one, all the people that are against that Jack Grealish consideration, because I think there are talks that all of a sudden that he is now being talked about to come to Tottenham. And there's a lot more reports. Yes, very small reports in the sense of it, but surely I don't understand how anyone could be against the signing of Jack Grealish in this window in the next few weeks.
I've had this chat so many times in the last month or so since the window's opened. I've had this chat so many times of how we're turning down footballers that are superiorly talented to what we've got now. I fail to believe that as a club, as a fan base, we watch Johnson and Tell and Odebert. And then when you name people like Harvey Elliott and Jack Grealish, people go, nah. And you're like, what are you doing? Like, a Grealish offers you left-sided plus attacking midfield. And for all those that say he's not a playmaker, he was. That's how he started his career.
He played as a 10 at Villa, didn't he?
He's a listen. I saw a couple of games last year where one of the games where Man City had been on a terrible run. Do you remember that period they had where I think they didn't win for like 11 or so? It was like terrible.
Yeah.
And then they beat, I want to say, I don't know, Wolves or someone at home. They beat someone at home. Grealish played in the 10, and then the fans were annoyed the next day because the next game they were like, well, why is he taking Grealish out the 10? Like, he did really well.
Yeah.
I just think it's a player that gives you versatility, leadership. I'm all for this leadership, mate. We've got enough kids that this manager needs to. This manager's got to coach Gray, Bergval, Adogi, Takai, Tell, Odeber. I'm missing one, but there's a Sarr is still a young man.
Yeah,
he's got to coach all of these. Don't bring any more for him to coach.
But do you know what? And I'll throw Harvey Elliott into this conversation as well. I hear a lot of how people all of a sudden know what these players are like behind the scenes. I find it really weird. Oh, they've got a bad attitude. Oh, they're party animals. They're a bit of a C word. And I'm going, like, you guys don't know what these people are like. You're judging players like Harvey Elliott based on his comments about Harry Kane. And if you're hung up and that is the reason why you're judging it, grow up. Like, come on. Like, and then you're judging Jack Grealish after winning the Champions League and going out on a bender. Heck, if we won the Champions League, we'd all be going out on a bender. What are you on about? Let's not pretend
Did anyone not see the bender Perchy went on the day, night, and week of winning the Europa League?
I did not. I had a night out after. It was a good night out, dancing in the street in the rain. That was fun. But on a serious point, we're judging players like we know them, and it's like.
So you mean like this? Look, like they both party a lot. Like I love this. I love this. You do realise
that
James Maddison isn't James Maddison a dad of
three? Dad of two, isn't he? I thought it was two. Maybe three.
Right, James Maddison is a dad of plural children, right?
Yeah,
plural, right?
How
many party nights do you think he's having? But Jack Grealish is also a dad, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Sorry, do we not think? Sorry, Tyler, I'm going to call this out. Do we not think that there are teammates at football clubs anywhere in the country where they both might like to go and have a drink every now and then? I've got nothing against these young men going and enjoying their lives as long as they are fit and they get on the pitch.
But equally, there is also a thing. I know what it is. People like Tyler, and I'll call you out, like, okay. What I'll say is what people think is because they see people like Grealish and Maddison in places like Ocean Beach in the summer when that is their holiday. They think that they are party animals. You do realise a lot of these football players will not drink during a football season. A lot of them do not. A lot of them. Harry Kane came out and said,
a lot of them get tested for it.
They do. Harry Kane.
A lot of them get tested for it at the training ground, mate.
Yeah, but no, I remember Harry Kane came out and said, as soon as the season's finished, I will have a month to myself where I will enjoy life, do whatever. I won't necessarily party because I've got a family, but I'll go out and eat what I want and I will drink what I want, blah, blah, blah. But the second pre-season hits, we cut it out. The whole team, we don't do that. And I think it gets a bit worrying when we judge players like this. And I think it becomes really silly. Are we really?
I mean, I don't know if we are, but I mean, this is a different level of youth player. This is
good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I put Harvey Elliott into it, and I think we almost so back to Jack Grealish. When I listen to anyone who is involved in Man City, and I mean on a level of they are playing into him, they say Jack Grealish is one of the nicest people. He will give every single person, no matter if you're the cook in the kitchen or you're the cleaner or you are the chairman, he will give you his time. Like there was a YouTuber that's a Man City YouTube, not like a football one, but he was involved in Man City, and so he said some of the players just sort of they feel like it's their obligation, they've got to sit there, blah blah. He said Grealish will sit there and give you his time. He will talk to you for half an hour. He doesn't have to do that. He does his media work, and like I just think people judge players so quickly. It's really weird.
Yeah, it makes me laugh. If it was one of our players, we'd find an excuse for why they've acted in this way. Sorry, Stanley's driving me nuts. When we're saying we can't keep going for the if he gets back to his best players, right? So we can't have young players. We can't have if he gets back to his best. But look, like when we're saying if he gets back to his best, I think we're making it out like he's had 5 years in the wilderness. Like what are we? Yeah. I don't know what we're Tottenham. We're Tottenham. We're not Real Madrid. We're Tottenham.
But this is the problem, right? And as a writer, kind of like the name's quite good. But what I'll say on this one is so who do you want? You want us to go and buy young up and coming kids, or do you want us to go and buy players that at the moment may have been falling out of favour at the top clubs? That their next step down is to come to a Newcastle, a Tottenham, an Aston Villa. Do you know what I mean? We're that step down that you go and get a player like Grealish. I don't really understand why you wouldn't want. I want someone to give me a footballing reason. And I'll be honest, anyone in the chat, I'll leave it. I'll let Savva pin him up because my computer's a bit weird. But give me a footballing reason as to why you don't want Jack Grealish. I don't just want, because he's a part of all this crap. Give me a proper reason, footballing reason, why you don't want Jack Grealish, and put them in there. People that don't want him, obviously, right? But let me know. I'd love to know. I want to know a footballing reason why you wouldn't want Jack Grealish at Tottenham Hotspur. Simple.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many players that I've said this for years about this fan base. We find excuses not to sign top players all the time, but yet find excuses for our very mediocre players as to why they're good. It makes no sense.
Mate, I've seen the same people say no to Jack Grealish, but go, well, Dele Alli's available. Should we bring him back? Like, it's mental. Like it's crazy.
Mm. Yeah, look, I think, look, we'll go through in a minute. We both put some players together. By the way, you guys tight on everything lately, tight. We're working our backsides off for you to give you content throughout the pre-season, and it's not being reciprocated. We've got just under 600 people in here and 142 likes. Guys, girls, come on. I don't want to ask. Surely, if you're all here watching, you must like the show. We've only had 2 new subscribers throughout the entire show, so please smash the subscribe button as we head towards the 21,000 mark. So please do smash that button. By the way, Sasha Tavalieri has just said that an agreement has been reached between Jashari and Club Bruges.
With AC Milan, you mean?
Yes, sorry, with AC Milan. Yeah, Club Bruges and AC Milan have reached an agreement and Jashari's going to go there. Seeing that AC Milan have also bid today for Darwin Núñez. Mm-hmm. Hey, it is what it is. So smash that like button, people. Please do subscribe as well. It would be much appreciated. Where are we? Right. So you asked me. Yes. You asked me. By the way, the link is there. By the way, the link should be pinned. Let me check. The link is pinned. So thank you very much to all those new subscribers. I appreciate you massively. And subscribe to Perchy. We'll get his link in there very, very shortly as well. Perchy, you asked. What did you ask me to do this morning? What have we done? What have we done?
I basically said is we've now got an issue at 10. We need to go and get in a number 10 in, and we need a left winger. So I said, look, pull together 5 left wingers and 5 number 10s that are attainable. So not like just picking attainable players that we can get, but you cannot put Eberiche Eze in that list because I feel like I mentioned earlier, I feel like he's the only player that we can sign. So we put down here, I'd like to see yours as mine. And if you want to read yours out, any that you've read out, I will say I've got them on my list. See if they match up.
Okay.
So I said 5 on each. And also I've had to edit mine because I did have Enzo Miller on there. And I've had to draw a line through him because he's now joined Al Ali today.
Yeah, I also had Milot, so I've got a line under one of mine as well. So I tried to keep them on point. Like I tried to keep
Sure.
them realistic, right? I didn't want to like no Eze. I didn't want to start putting in ridiculous players that we can't sign.
Sure.
So
Same.
if I look at the number 10 position, the
Let's do
five
tens
names
first.
huh?
No, no, sorry, no, I just said do tens first. Let's do tens
Yeah,
first.
yeah. So the five number 10s that I put in there was Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, I've got Harvey
Um,
Elliott.
I put in Sunset of Bilbao.
Ooh, okay. I didn't put him in.
Yep.
I didn't, but yeah,
I
good player.
put in Julian Brandt.
Ooh, okay.
I put in Di Catalaire, if that's the way you say his name.
Yeah, good, another good player.
And I then replaced Milot with Pedro Gonçalves of Sporting Lisbon.
So, I like it. I like that. I like that. I won't spoil it because it will spoil something red. But so the five I put
play along in the chat, by the way. Play along in the chat. Five number 10s that you would take without Eze. No, I don't want to see the word Eze anywhere.
Yeah, can't put Eze, and you can't just put ridiculous ones that are clearly never going to sign him, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, we're going to go and sign Kevin De Bruyne or something ridiculous. Like, come on, sensible ones. So so I've gone 5. So mine are actually, apart from Harvey Elliott, I have got Harvey Elliott on this. I thought I was going to put someone like Sanchez in, but I thought I don't know if that's actually attainable now. I think if you're going to go and get someone like that in early doors, so I've gone Henry Sudakov of Shakhtar Donetsk. If you've seen him play, he's a very, very good football player.
I've shamelessly shoehorned him into my left.
Oh, okay. I put in, I said Harvey Elliott. I've already got him in. I put in one player that I feel like doesn't get talked about a lot, and I thought is a really, really good football player that could actually do a job for us. I've gone for Kudo Buonanotte at Brighton.
Okay.
I think he's a technically very, very good football player, and I think he's obtainable. I've also gone for my other number 10 is Lucas Paqueta, who I think at the moment there is a lot of talk that he might be going from West Ham. I think if you could get someone like that in, that would be really good. And my last one was James McAtee. Again, another football player that I think I put him at the bottom of the list of the 5. So I kind of went strong and then worked my way down. But I thought those are 5 that I think if you could get those in to fill in as your number 10, I'd be really happy with.
Mate, absolutely. The caveats there. Paqueta was one I was toying with, and then when I put in Pedro Gonçalves to replace Milo, I was like, oh, do I put Paqueta in? Oh, West Ham going to send him to us, but Paqueta definitely. McAtee, I think, needs 1 year. I think he needs a year somewhere being the man.
He was at the bottom. He was at the bottom of my list, to be fair.
But what we have seen is he's another off that academy rank at Man City, where he's going to go somewhere, do well, and then we're all going to sit there in a year and go, we could have got him. I just know it. So we've got a lot. Listen, some similar players, but there's a lot of footballers out there. There's so many footballers out there that Tottenham could go and get. None of those. Maybe Brandt at Dortmund, but Dortmund are a selling club. None of those for me are at clubs where I go, oh, that's going to be the end of the world. I don't think any of them are out of the realms of possibility for me.
No, I think Julian Brandt for me would be one of those that a player like him might go, is Tottenham a sideways move for him? Where he could be looking, going, well, my next move, I want to go and get the big payday. I think he's 29, 30 now. But again, a good top player, by the way. Imagine if we had a midfield attacking options of Julian Brandt, Maddison, like Kudos as a 3, like in some interchangeable way. I think they're great players.
I think all the players that were named between the two of us are players that I want to see in a Tottenham shirt. I want to see players of this ilk in a Spurs shirt. I've said it a million times. I don't want to watch Brennan Johnsons and Tells and Odegaards. And as much as all these people that think they know everyone's ceiling, as much as they keep telling me, in 2 years, you're going to look silly. I don't care about 2 years. I care about the 25-26 season.
Agreed.
The same people that have been telling me all of these kids in our youth team have got this ceiling and they're all going to play. None of them are going to be picked this year because you know what? They're not ready. So for me, I would take all of them. But do you want to do your left-sided players first? Or should we see what the chat have said first?
Yeah. Let's do the chat for the 10s first. That'll be cool. I'd like to see what the 10s the guys have put in.
So
see if people have understood the assignment. Yeah,
listen, this guy, every time I watch him, I'm like, how have you not moved? Like this guy,
I say that all the time with him. He's a top player.
Julian Hughes wants Paz. Again, I like Paz, but I'm at the stage. I'm at the stage where he's had one season in his career, and I'm like, I like him.
Yeah, Morgan Rogers again. It's not really. We're not getting Morgan Rogers out of Aston. That's the problem, man. You've got to get the assignment right.
I think the difficulty with Morgan Rogers is, first of all, that he's about to sign a new 5-year contract with Villa. Yeah. And second of all, if they're going to sell players for PSR, I think it will be people like Jacob Ramsey long before it's someone like Morgan Rogers, who's the future of the club.
And you've got to ask yourself this: Morgan Rogers for me is going. If I'm going to move, my next move is Man City. My next move is Liverpool. It's not going to be Tottenham right now. That's the way I always look at players like that and go, your next move is going to be to that step up.
No, completely agree. Completely agree. Then we've got Fermin Lopez. Now, I think Fermin Lopez is a wonderful footballer. What I would do, I don't think you buy him. I don't think this is a player you buy. I would go to Barcelona and go, give us Fermin Lopez. We'll start him every game.
Yeah, agreed.
Give us Fermin Lopez. We will play him as our number 10 every game. This boy can play. He is
very good football player.
He's a very good footballer. We got Sean Moo, 1882, has said Elliot, McAtee, Milo, Akalushe, Kangin, Paz, and Dikatele. Well, Miller has just gone to Saudi.
Akalushe, by the way, I had a look at him. He's got good stats, by the way, that kid. Not seen enough of him play. Man. Yeah, he's not. I haven't seen him play, but I've looked at like FP Ref, and his passing stats are very, very good.
Yeah,
De Ketelaere is a good one. I was going to put De Ketelaere on my list, but I'm not sure what he is. I don't know if he's a 10 or if he's a 9. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to work out what he is at the moment.
No, I get you. Who else we got? Jashari, unfortunately. We've got the news tonight. He's off to AC Milan. Not really a 10. Quality player. There we go. Ndai, Grealish,
Elliot,
Paz, Sunset, Elliot, Sudakov, De Ketelaere. Yeah, a lot of the same names coming. There's a new one. Stiller, Damsgaard.
Damsgaard. If we could get I just don't see how Brentford go, we're going to go and sell you another one of, like, do you know what I mean? We've already lost in Burmo. We look like we're going to lose Wissa because he's asking to go. When do Brentford go, hang on, we can't keep losing him? Stiller is a good shout. Again, I don't think he's a 10, though. I think he's one of those that he's a bit deeper as a player, but a good player, though. Good player.
Yeah. Completely agree with you. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Don't know what's just happened there. Who else we got? We've got again Elliot, Grealish, McAtee. It's the same names, isn't it? Going around now. Gonna be a good player though. This boy, I'm telling you, this guy's gonna be a top player. You don't really get minutes under. You don't get minutes under Pep like he was at the end of last season if you're not good. Let's see if anyone's got Canoes again. For me,
not really 10 though, is he? I wouldn't see him as a 10.
Well, I like him technically, but I look at his age, 1 year in the Prem, and I just think, is this yet another person? Is this yet another person we're getting at that young age and hoping that they grow?
Canoes has that Odegaard feel to him.
Yeah, I think he's. Yeah, I get. Yeah, I
get
what you mean.
When you get him from a team that's just got relegated, he had 1 year in the Premier League, and you go, "Oh, it's that sort of player."
Yeah, no, completely agree with you. Completely agree. Bone Stark, has said, Bone Star 2K, sorry, said Xavi Simons. We've got to stop this Xavi Simons. He's going to Chelsea.
That's not,
I
that's a
don't
no.
know. I don't know how many people want to talk about a player that we know is joining Chelsea. Grealish, yes. Rodgers signing a new contract. Yes. Completely agree with you. Hey, I completely agree with you. I want the here and now as well. It's fundamental that we get that. If it was up to me, I'd give you Brennan Johnson back for 20 million. Yeah, I've got no problem in doing that. Radio Birdman, no one said they don't want Eze.
It's not that I don't want Eze. I just think there's other football players out there. Like it's about broadening your horizons and broadening your minds, guys. Come on. There's more than one player out there.
Radoni from Coventry City. I remember us playing him last year.
I remember this kid, I think.
I'm just not sure that that's going to satisfy the natives.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. Let's Perchy, do you want to go through your your number 11s, so to speak?
My 11s. I've actually broken a little bit of rules. I've actually wrote 6 down, and I'm not going to remove one because do you know what? It's my game, and that's how I do it. So I've gone Jack Grealish. I assume you've got Jack Grealish on your list. I've got
Jack Grealish on my list.
Mikazat. Oh, I can't do his name. Mikazatze. I'm assuming you got him on your list. I've got Malik Fofana.
Yes.
I've got Pedro Goncalves, so I put him on my left, not my 10s, but he can play both.
Fair enough.
I've got Alex Berenier, who plays for Bilbao. He's 30 now, but if you could get him on the cheap and get him in for a couple of years, good technical player. And I've also got a young lad that plays for Monaco called Ellis Ben Seguir. If you've seen this kid play, nice, talented little player that you can go and get in on that left, and he can play as a 10 as well. So it's someone like that. I'll go, if you can get him at 22, he's played 2 or 3 years at Monaco. Nice, tidy little player.
Well, I put in Mikatadze because he can play in 2 positions. Grealish, Fofana, Matoma, Sudakov, and Lookman. Now, Lookman wants Inter. We know that. But if Inter can't stump up the money, he's a London lad. Is there a possibility? What do you make of Lookman?
Look, do you know what? Ademola Lookman's a weird one, right? Because when he was in the Premier League, I went, man, you're such a mediocre football player. He went to Italy, and fair play to him. He went to Italy, and ever since he went to Atalanta, I went, wow, you're a player. Like, because he played in the Premier, didn't he? He was at Fulham for a period. He was at Leicester for a period. I want to say he was somewhere else. Someone chat, help me. Where else? I know he was at Fulham for a period, and I know he was at Leicester for a period. Someone in the chat might help me out in that. Someone in the chat might be able to. Everton. Thank you, Andy Lester, you legend. Everton. I went, I'm not sure how good you are, right? And then he went to Italy, and I've gone, you stepped up your game. So look, if you could get Ademola Lookman in, I'll go, you get him in a heartbeat. At the moment, he's bang up for it at the moment. He looks a top player. He won, obviously, a European trophy with Atalanta. So sure, why not? Yeah. Oh, yeah, and yeah, so yeah, because he came through Charlton's academy, didn't he? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I just think that there's so many players when we look at these. When you're saying no to Lookman, why would we not want Lookman?
Yeah, why? That's the question I'd ask. Look what he's done in the last few years. He stepped up.
This is what I mean. When I talk about players that our fans say no to, at the moment, we're playing players like Tell and Odebert and Brennan Johnson. What are we doing?
There's another winger that I'd have in a heartbeat. He's the lad that played at Betis. Oh, he's a talent. I forgot his name now. Someone in the chat might be able to help. Oh, he played and he was like, Abdi, the lad, the Y player at Real Betis. I thought he was brilliant in that Conference League final. Yeah, is it Abzaloy? Yeah, is that the one? No, yeah, I think that's how you say it. I think his nickname's Abdi. Abdi Abzaloy or whatever is the Moroccan lad. Looks a good player. Another one as well plays for Villarreal. Ilias. Have you seen him play?
Yes.
He's a good football player. Him.
There's so many good players about. There's so many good players out. So many good players about. I just want to see that, you know, I want to see some excitement at Tottenham.
Sure.
You know, I want to see some players where we go, yeah, when he gets the ball, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. And at the moment, there's just too many that don't. Jack said, leave my boy alone. Joke, you can have your opinions. You're horrible. Sorry, Sav. My boy Johnson. Listen, Brennan Johnson, again, yesterday, I think we saw exactly what Brennan Johnson is. He had that one good moment where he got the ball, deflected, shot for the goal. And then for the rest of the game, I just didn't know he was playing. And this is the problem. It is like playing with 10 men.
Yeah.
It really is. And listen, let's be fair. Kudus has been bought as our right winger. Kudus has definitely been bought as our right winger. I think Brennan Johnson's going to be primarily used as off the bench or maybe off the left. But for me, just nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough to be a striker. He can't hold the ball up at all. He has no strength. He can't hold the ball up. I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure what he does.
I just want some technical football players. I feel like that's the one thing we really lack in is technical quality. Like, and I said, there's so many names out there, so many players out there. I'm liking some of the names that have been said, by the way. Some of you guys have put some good names in. This is what I mean. There's such good players out there. And you know my real frustration is that with this obsession about buying players from the Premier League. I hear this nonsense Prem proven crap all the time. And it is crap. Like Prem proven's rubbish. From that logic, we have to go and sign like English football players when there's football players all around Europe, all around the world that you go, wow.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he would go, Sid. I think the problem that you've got now is not many teams play the front two anymore. And the problem is he's not got the strength to be a forward for me. Any decent centre-half is shutting him down easily. And again, I know we don't look at this as fans, but we've got to look at how people do when they're not scoring. I look at, as I said, Tell, Odegaard, Richarlison, Solanke, Johnson. When the ball goes into them, it more often than not bounces straight back because they're not technically good enough or strong enough to hold on to the ball. Now, sometimes Dominic Solanke can do it. Other times he looks awful at it. Richie can't do it. Tell can't do it. Odegaard can't do it. By the way, he's answered this, Lurs. I know you really want El Canouse, but
look, I think I think, look, as I say, do you know where I think Bilal El Canouse will end up, by the way? I think he ends up at Brentford to replace Mbermo. I think that's the level that someone like El Canouse goes at. Goes to Brentford for 2 or 3 years, and then he gets that next move. I just think at the moment, look, I think the problem what we've got is we've got too many El Canouses at Tottenham. I don't mean that in a derogatory way. We've got a lot of young players that are talented, but we've got a lot of them. What we need now is that one above for me.
No, absolutely. This is what I never seem to understand about our fan base. We're crying out for quality. We're crying out for senior players, but literally we want to mention loads and loads and loads of young players. Now, I don't mind if you're 21, 22 and you've got 5-6 years but behind you, cool. But we're talking about a bloke here who's had 1 year at Leicester and not really done a lot. Like, for me,
he didn't have 1 year. He was only there 6 months. They signed him in January.
So they signed him in January?
They signed him in January. I remember them signing him in January. But it's one of those. He's the sort of player. Like, for example, if we didn't have an Odegaard, I would get him in as an Odegaard player. But we've already got players like Odegaard in the team. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Ghosted and said, I agree, Savva. I said sell Johnson while we can get money for him. It's just how I think you get the best out of him. Look, I think the difficulty is because he adds the odd goal, he's going to be of value to the squad. He is because he adds the odd goal. But watch football away from that. If you watch football away from that one moment when he scores, everything on him breaks down. His hold-up play, he gives it away. His passing, he gives it away. Not for me. I think the next players we need to see a bit more quality. I like footballers that when the ball goes to them, you're comfortable that it's not going to bounce straight back. Like Ginola was a master of that. I know we're talking about levels. When the ball went to Ginola, I remember interviewing, a few of them, Ramon Vega, Alan Nilsson, players that all played with him. And they all said it was great because we give him the ball and we knew that he'd hold on to it. We knew he'd hold on to it. We know he's got the strength. We know he's got the touch. We know he's got the control, the ability. When I watched Spurs yesterday against Newcastle, how many times that ball went to that front three and bounced straight back because none of them can hold the ball up. That's a real worry for me.
We don't, as I said, we don't have technical football players. Someone put in a good one. Is it Ben Casey, 703, Zagrova, another good technical football player. Again, it's players like that. Like, I'm not against... You know my thoughts. I don't think you've got to go and spend £100 million to fix what we've got here. I don't think you do. I think you could spend 50, 60, 70 million pounds where I go, but getting young players...
We are stacked with young players. Mapping, I'm sure you're trolling me now. This is ridiculous. We are stacked with young players. We're having to loan about 12 of them out because we've got so many young players. We've got, if you look, Perchy, right now, look at our team. If you look at the back, from the defensive areas, you've got Adogi, who's still young, Takai, who's still young, Vuskovic, who's going to go on loan, Dorrington, who's gone on loan, right? Phillips, who's gone on loan. That's 5 young defenders. You've got Bergvall, who's a kid, Gray, who's a kid, Sarr, who's still young, Hall, who's young, Abbott, who's young. That's 5 midfielders who are young. You've then got Odeberg. You've got Tell. Like, you've got Valise, who's gone on loan. That's 3. I've just named 13 players, right? I've just named 13 players there. That doesn't take into account Jamie Donnelly. That doesn't take into account Scarlett, Divine. Like, I don't know how we're still doing this. I don't know how we're still doing this years later. Like this is the same guy that doesn't want Harvey Elliott, but wants to sign more kids. I genuinely don't get it. Do we think Frank will get better numbers out of Kulu? Well, at the moment, Kulu's out until what? November, isn't he? Something like that. October, November. So we'll see. But yeah, I do think he gets better numbers out of him. I do. It all depends how he comes back because that's a big injury that he's had. That's a big injury that he's had. So I think it all depends. Let me do some super chats while Perchy's away. By the way, you lot are so tight tonight. 247 likes. We've only had 2 new subscribers throughout the whole show. 3 new subscribers throughout the whole show. Come on, people. Smash that button for me. Do me a favor. Big up to Sanctuary, my man. Said, does Paulinho get number 7? Or do you think someone else? I wouldn't think Paulinho would be number 7. Be a bit weird for a holding midfielder to have 7. We'll see. No, I wouldn't. I'd give him some really obscure number like 99 or something. Big up to you, 7. Really appreciate that. My man, Martin Knightsbridge. Big up to you. I said, Savva, if you play for Spurs, then you're washed. Well, I mean, look, it's funny, isn't it? The number of players that are kind of washed at Spurs and we think players from all these other clubs are washed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Really appreciate that. Big up to James Watts. So Spurs should go and get Oyhan Sansei in the 10. Yes, James. Absolutely yes. And more yes. Very good footballer. Great numbers. I'm taking him all day long from Bilbao. All day long. Thank you, James. And then the super sticker. Maybe we're starting a super sticker train from my man Mark at Sparky Spurs. Big up to you, Mark. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate you. Thank you very much. Let me get some comments while we're waiting for Perchy to come back. Yeah, this is what I don't get. We've got such a young squad and people want more young players. I think we need to flip it. I think we need some senior players. Yeah, Yeah, but yeah. They said that he's going to start training in September, right? Like properly. I think he's got it's a bad injury that he got that's going to keep you out through April, May, June, July, August, September. He's not going to come back and hit the ground running. Chris, big up to you. Absolutely. It's practically a daycare. Absolutely. But this is the problem. It is practically a daycare. And still people want more. And this is what I mean. People like Mappin want to come in and say these things.
What I missed?
No, just that apparently we need more young players. By the way, Santia Euna is saying that Bournemouth and Sevilla have found an agreement for Loic Bardet.
Good centre off, by the way. Good centre off.
Yeah. So Bournemouth trying to
we were linked to him last season.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. Hang on 1 second. Close. Oh, yeah. So
just to sort of jump onto your conversation about the kids side of things. The thing is if we're going to sign kids, I've got no issues with it as long as we act like Chelsea. If we're signing them to make money to then sign better football players, I've got no issues. But the second you even ask the question about selling Bergvall, people lose their mind. So we have to adapt as a fan base and go, it's fine. As I said, we have to adapt as a fan base, right? So if we want to go and keep buying kids, I've got no problems with it, as long as we act like a Chelsea, where they'll go, well, do you know what? You've had one good season. We're going to sell you for twice as much. Chelsea are happy just to buy and then sell. They have no attachments to them. So it goes both ways. So that's the problem. If I said, oh, look, we're going to sell Bergvall for £50 million, our fan base would lose their marbles. Oh, we're going to sell... If anyone in here would sell Jamie Donnelly or would sell Mikey Moore, people would go crazy about it. So it goes both ways for me. Mappin saying young players are always exciting to watch. Yeah, but at what level though? Great, that's happy days. If you want to go and Mappin, no disrespect, my man, go and watch under 21s football then. That's the thing. But some of us want that level up, right? I get it. I get why people want to buy kids. I do get it. But surely you've got to want more, right? You've got to want more. Let's see. See, it's fun. I have access. So my thing's gone all weird though. I'm sorry. I'm trying to sort this out. Haven't been on this for a while. Bradley Locker is a shout left back. I can't. Phil, who's he play for again? The name rings a bell, but I can't remember who he plays for. Big up to you, Phil Coys. Probably, I'm worrying about your opinion on football players. Yeah, but Mappin, that's my point, right? You've kind of hit my point. No way we should sell him. So how many kids do you want to keep buying? If you're doing it like Chelsea, where you sign Bergvall for £8 million, and then in 18 months, 24 months, you're going, cool, we're selling him for 40. I've got no issues. But you kind of proved my point, Mappin. If I went, sell Bergvall or sell Moore or sell Donnelly or anyone, I don't care, with Abbott or any kid that we signed, Gray, you don't want to. So it doesn't, you've got to have it. You can't have it both ways. You have to have it one way or the other, right? Yes, Grealish, there's a lot of talk now that we want to get Jack Grealish on loan. Take it in a heartbeat. What if they'll be the next Ronaldo? Yeah, but how many Ronaldos are there? This is the point, right? I hear this all the time. What if they'll be the next Ronaldo? Well, sure, but there was only one Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Cristiano Ronaldos don't grow on trees, is my point. Any others? Is that that Loco guy? Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him play. I can't comment on only common players I see. See, Barcola, why would Barcola come to Tottenham? You have to realism. You've got to be realistic. Yeah, someone said about Mark. So I think he's a very, very good football player, but I think Paulinho is the perfect player for what we needed. But by the way, he's a very, very good player, Mark Casado, and I think they'll get him out on loan and he'll go somewhere like a Borussia Dortmund and be really well. I'll just use them as an example. It may not be them. Mikey Moore going to Rangers, a perfect move for him. Experienced old firm as well, will do him good. Yeah, look, Mikey Moore for me. And people will not like what's going to be said here. I don't know how good Mikey Moore is. Everyone can tell me he's great. He's amazing. He's this, he's that. But how good is Mikey Moore? Because I haven't seen enough where I go, yeah, you're top draw. So, yeah, I think a loan move's good. I think what the loan will do is establish how good Mikey Moore actually is, right? Because I think I hear this all the time. I hear this about he's generational. Fine. If Mikey Moore is generational, I expect him to be the best player in Scotland now. Do you know? I think this is the thing. And then I hear the notion will be, oh, well, he's young. No. I'm not having young stuff. If he's generational, him going to Rangers, I expect him to be the best player on the pitch. Most games. Do you agree?
Yeah, listen, I as I've said, with any of these young players going anywhere, go and show yourself. Go and show how good you are. For example, Vuskovic going out on loan. Go and be the best centre-back in the league you go to. You know, if he goes to the Championship, go and show everyone why they were raving about you. But equally, if he doesn't, he's still young enough. He can have another loan. It's not that everything needs to be done right now. Mikey Moore in Scotland, I fully expect if he is this generational talent that people are talking about, let's see it. Let's see it. He's playing against opposition each week where he should be able to enjoy his time. Let's see. But again, as I say every week on whatever show I'm on, Perchy, whatever show I'm on, at the end of the day, if these players are good enough, they will show it. But we've got to stop making them good enough until we've seen it. The loving for Vuskovic after 45 minutes against Reading was just insane. Like, truly, truly insane. This guy has to start this season. He's a beast. And you're like, oh, my God, on what basis? Because he scored a goal. Like,
yeah, see, I've had this whole thing about Vuskovic. People were telling me, oh, he should be in the team. And I went, well, hang on a minute. This is our problem, right? This is the problem. We're making calls and decisions based on a 90-minute game, 45-minute cameo against Reading. For me, Mike, I think Vuskovic is going to be a very, very good football player for Tottenham. However, my theory on this is he needs to go to. Do you know what I want to see? I want him to go to the Championship and be the best defender in the Championship. Then we'll know that this guy's amazing. Like, I hear this all the time. Oh, this kid's amazing. Then he goes on loan. Like, I heard about Dane Scarlett for years, right? It was Dane Scarlett's generational. Went to every team he went to and scored no more than 4 goals. So, like, whatever level we went at. So, I think that's the key bit for me. Go out now. For Mikey Moore, Vuskovic, whoever else goes on loan, go and be the best player in the team. Then we'll bring you back and then we'll make another decision. Again, it might be another loan or it might be we're going to sell X player because you're now going to be behind them X, however.
Yeah. Listen, that's all I've said. And I think the problem is when you have the conversation about the youngsters, if you don't immediately wax lyrical about them, you're told that you hate the youth. You don't understand his high ceiling. Cool. So, like, let's use Mikey Moore. If Mikey Moore is as good as people say and his ceiling, to use that word, is as high as people say, we've got nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
He'll go to Scotland. He'll smash it. He'll come back. He'll be a Spurs starter. Right now, I'm looking at all of these kids. I don't think any of them are ready. I don't think Donnelly's ready. Keeley wasn't. I don't think Vuskovic is ready. I don't think Phillips is ready. I don't think Hall is ready. I don't think George Abbott is ready. Listen, Archie Gray is our 4th or 5th choice central midfielder. I don't even think he's ready. So
Agreed.
what of the young midfielders behind him? They haven't got a chance. Valise, Scarlett, Devine, Lancashire. These people aren't ready. But these are people that have had so much smoke blown up their arse because they might have done brilliantly at youth level, or they might have come on and done well in a Europa League game against lesser opposition. And people just go just a little bit crazy for it. And I've always been one, having worked in youth football myself, I'm one where I realised that, I remember when I was at Charlton, right, there was a kid that played for Charlton who was at that age. He was about, when I first went there, he was about 12. He was about 12 years of age. And he was tiny little thing. But technically just ran rings around all of his peers, right? He ran rings around everyone. And his name is Erhan Oztuma. You can Google him. So Erhan Oztuma went on to have a good career in the lower leagues with the likes of Warsaw, clubs like that. Yeah. But didn't quite make it at Charlton. But from the age of 12 to the age of 17, 18, everyone at Charlton, this guy, he's going to be the best player that this country's seen. And I was like, one of the coaches said to me, they've just got to let him develop because they're just putting too much pressure on him. And now every time he plays, he feels he has to do more than he needs to. And this is what fans do. This is what fans do to every young player.
And I think we're almost in a position where fans have convinced themselves of it without actually any real understanding. So they've just kind of convinced themselves Mikey Moore is going to be a generational talent, and it's just a matter of time he'll be the best player ever. And always like, well, exactly. Let it happen. I remember, I mean, you all know this. I remember when everyone was telling the world that Ravel Morrison was going to be the savior of English football. And look what happened. And look, he had a relatively all right career, but it wasn't the levels of grandeur that was there. And there's so many on there, right? But do you know what it is? And it's actually elevated more now because there's so much more viewership of under 21s football. More and more people watching under 21s football. And then you're getting people basically blowing smoke up kids' arses before they've actually properly done anything yet.
Yeah, it's listen, I think the key thing is as well, like obviously Lubo and I always have these conversations, and he always tries to convince me, but Keely's different, but Donnelly's different, but Moore's different. Sure, but there's a difference between being different in League One and jumping into the Tottenham Hotspur first team. There's the levels, Perchy, are huge.
Of course, and the gap keeps getting bigger. Josh Keely, you brought him up, is a great example, right? Josh Keely should be the example for us all to go, calm down.
Right.
Because everyone was telling me that Josh Keely should be starting in goal for Tottenham. Roll on a few months later, we got £1 million from Luton for him.
Right.
So that has to, we've got to, everyone's going, oh, he should be playing at a high level. Then why haven't clubs gone and got him? Like, it's always an excuse, right?
I completely agree. And by the way, Bourbon Buzzard, look, there's two ways of looking at this for a young player. When we're saying, wouldn't Vuskovic benefit from being around Romero, Danso, and VDV, you've also got to remember that at the club, you've got Dragoshin that will be back, November, December time. You've got Ben Davis. You've got Takai that's just been brought in. The problem is you have to weigh up against playing and not playing. It's all well and good being in and around training with these players, but if you can't get game time, you don't develop.
Exactly.
If you can't get game time. You know, so what we should do for me is put Vuskovic out on loan somewhere for a year. Let him learn the game. By the way, I've watched this boy defend. It's okay. What people are praising him for is how big he is, how good in the air he is, and he scores goals. Let him go somewhere. Let him play 46 league games in the Championship, for example, right? Let him go and learn. Let him go and play against men week in, week out.
Yeah.
Come back next year, a year older, a year more experienced. Davis moves on. Maybe Dragoshin, someone like that moves on as well. And you go, right, Vuskovic, welcome back. You're now part of the senior team. We don't seem to want to do that with players. And the problem is there's no guarantee. Listen, there are these players are going out on loan, right? I don't know if I can share this, but these are the players. This is what I did earlier, right? So far at Tottenham, currently you've got Moore, Dorrington, Phillips, and Valise all out on loan, right?
Yeah.
Those 4 are all out on loan. So Moore's at Rangers, Dorrington's at Aberdeen, Phillips is at
Stoke. He's gone back to
Stoke, and Valise has gone to his old club,
Rosario.
right?
Yeah.
You've then got Alistair Gold's come out today and said that the following players are all going to be going out on loan, right? Which is Vuskovic, Yang, Abbott, Hall, Lancashire, Donnelly, Scarlett, Devine, right? That's 8. Plus the 4 who have gone. That is 12 players out on loan. Of those 12...
JE as well, as well. Yeah.
Who?
A JE's at Doncaster, any?
And a JE. So
yeah,
13, right? Sorry, yeah, a JE. Of those 13... how many do fans really think, and this sounds harsh, this is going to sound brutal, of those 13 I've just named, how many of them in 2 years will be first team Spurs players? I'm going to go with 1, maybe 2 in the squad out of that 13. And that sounds really harsh, Perchy. But this is youth football.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 I'm going with are going to be Vuskovic and Moore.
What are going to make it?
I think we'll make it.
Yeah, I think it'll be those 2. Yeah, if we count those ones of that list, I don't think anyone else will make it to the levels that we... Look, I think they will make it at what level? Yeah, the rest I don't think will make it to the levels of Tottenham, no.
Well, I mean, by the way, I've just put those names in the chat for people here. Sorry, I know it groups them all together, but just I don't know why it's done that. But look, this is how many players are going to go out on loan this season from Tottenham. That still leaves a squad of 28 people. 28 people. This is the brutal reality that when people want to keep blowing smoke up everyone's arse and saying they're the next great thing, hardly any of them make it. I'm not being harsh. Seen it. This is why there are academies and football centres set up for players that leave academies every year.
Yeah.
And want to get back into football because it's cutthroat.
Didn't Glenn Hoddle run one?
Yes.
He did, didn't he? Didn't he run one in Spain, if I'm right in saying? I might be wrong.
Oh,
yeah, someone was putting in the chat, Tyrese was going to Notts County. Doesn't that kind of just set the scene, right? Like, everyone tells me how great this kid is. Why is he only going to, League 2, Notts County, or are they League 1? Whatever.
You got to ask yourself, when Chelsea loan out their youngsters, where do they end up?
Exactly.
Right? Even when they loaned out Alfie Gilchrist, who I don't think is that good, but they loaned him out to Sheffield United, who were fighting for the title in the Championship. When we're loaning out people, we're loaning them to Orient, to Doncaster, to Notts County.
Tyreek George is linked to go to RB Leipzig, for example, right? Like he's played a few games.
Donnelly. I mean, how old is Jamie Donnelly now? Right?
20.
Jamie Donnelly, right? Let's have a look at him. And again, I'm not knocking him. I've seen him. He looks like a decent footballer. I don't think he's in any way, shape, or form ready for the first team. Jamie Donnelly is 20 years of age. He'll be 21 in January. So what we're saying is if he goes on another year loan, by the time he comes back to Tottenham, he'll be nearly 22. How many people bloom that late?
Yeah. Here's a question, right? If Jamie Donnelly goes out on loan in this window, what everyone in the chat put in, at what level does Jamie Donnelly go at? I'd love to see people's opinions on how good Jamie Donnelly is. I think he'll go to a average championship team, probably.
Like
anyone?
Preston.
Yeah, Preston. Who went up?
Birmingham.
Yeah, I don't think he gets in Birmingham's team at the moment. They're going good at the moment. I mean, they're trying to bring in Chuba Akpong, for example, from Ajax, right?
So this is the thing about youth players. If Jamie Donnelly is ready for Tottenham, there are people saying right now, not in my chat, there are people right now saying, keep him. He should be in our squad this season. By that metric, whatever championship team he goes to, he should run the show.
Agreed.
If he's good enough at Tottenham, I would like to think that any Tottenham footballer should be able to go down to the championship and be the best player in the team.
Yeah, right? I agree.
Skip when he was young.
Yeah, it's good.
Right?
Good
went to Norwich, championship player of the year, wasn't he? For Norwich. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's this that would be that would be brilliant. Charlton, who have just gone up.
Yeah, good shout.
Right? Cholton. But again, I'm a believer. I want to see these things. I want to see these things before I wax lyrical. And this is where Lubo and I always debate, Perchy. When he's constantly telling me, oh, this is the best group I've seen. Well, no manager's picking them. So they can't be ready, can they? Do you know what I mean? They can't be.
But I think you hit the nail earlier, right? I think the nail was about compare us to Chelsea and Man City. Man City loan out their main players to decent Prem teams. Chelsea do as well, or very, very good Championship sides. Our young players that everyone's telling me is amazing. They can barely get out of League One. Like, look, who went on last season? Who last season went to the Championship last season for us? Lancashire didn't do anything. Where was Dane Scarlett last season?
He started at Oxford, didn't he? And
Oxford, they brought him back, and we didn't send him out after, did we? I
don't think he was allowed another loan, was he? Because of
because he played for us for a game. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, who else went into the Championship last season? Phillips. He's had a couple of loans in the Championship at Plymouth and Stoke, and he's going to Stoke again. He hasn't been one of those where I went, oh, you stood out. I think that's the worrying thing for me is we're not really. Yang as well. Again, another one where technically good, but again, didn't really do much. Do you know what the problem we have here? And I'd like to see your thoughts on this. Other teams will do the loans a couple of times, then go and then make a decision. Yeah. We seem to be a position where we just go loan until they're worthless.
Well, and then do you know how old Scarlett is?
He's 22, isn't he?
Scarlett's 21. He'll be 22. He'll be 22 in March. So again, by the time Dane Scarlett comes back to Tottenham next season, he's a 22-year-old guy. And by the way, I'm not knocking him, but for me, I think needs to find a home because his last 3 loans, Portsmouth, right? 6 goals in 40 in League One, right? Ipswich Town, 0 goals in 12 games.
In Oxford, League One?
In Championship, right?
Okay.
And then Oxford in the Championship, 4 in 22. So in 3 loans over 3 seasons, he's managed to find 10 goals.
I worked
6 of them were in League One.
I worked out he scored something like 14 goals in nearly 100 games or something ridiculous.
I can tell you what it is.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, he's played 96 games and got 11 goals.
That's it. Yeah, I knew it was just over 10 or something. Yeah, so my point. Yeah, but okay. I've seen it in the chat, and I'm going to bite. I don't mind. Please stop using the Harry Kane argument. Harry Kane was the anomaly.
Who's done it?
Collective Breaks 731.
I love this. So big up Collective. Great guy. This is the same thing I heard for 5 years about Sessegnon.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I know, collective breaks, but people do say this, not say you. I know, come, it's all right. No, you're a good guy, it's all right. But this is what we do get a lot, isn't it? You get I heard it for 5 years with Sessegnon. This year. Look what happened with Bale. At first, Bale wasn't very good. Bale. Kane. These guys are the absolute anomaly. These are not the rule. Listen, I just worry. I think every year I keep saying I don't think these youngsters are as good as we think they are. And every year I'm persuaded by people who don't watch them play that they are. But every manager doesn't play them.
Yeah. I just think at the moment we need to start being a bit more. Oh, do you know what? We need to be more ruthless as a football club. I hear it all the time that we're going to be, but we, in a weird way, we as a fan base have to be ruthless. Mm-hmm. We keep telling, they'll come good. Nah, if they're not good, goodbye. You make a very big decision, and the thing is, people go, well, what if one of them does come good? Well, good luck to them. I hope they do. we can't just keeping players that aren't at the level that we need them to be because it's not because of potentially one of them becoming a superstar. And that's not how it works. As I said, Chelsea are ruthless. They don't care. They will get rid of players at a click of a finger.
Chelsea, by the way, have sold 3 midfielders today.
Oh no, it's ridiculous.
Right, they've sold more than we have in this transfer window. If I'm not wrong, we have sold Son and Keeley. Anyone else?
Son and Keeley.
Højbjerg was an obligation.
Højbjerg doesn't count. That was part of it. Yeah, we sold 2 players. Right. Wow, I didn't think of it actually. How bad that? You're right.
So we've sold 2 players. Unless anyone in the chat can think of another one, we've sold 2 players permanently out the door today. Chelsea are wrapping up 3. We've got the here we go for Keenan Dewsbury Hall to Everton. Right, we've got the here we go for Ugachukwu
to Burnley.
To Burnley. And they're in deep talks with Dortmund for Chukwuemeka.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine Spurs having 3 players like that? By the way, hang on, let's do this. Chukwuemeka, Ugachukwu, and Dewsbury Hall. Right, now let's add in Petrovic, the goalkeeper, who went. Now let's add in Madueke, who went.
Yeah.
Now let's add in who else went?
Should I get it up?
Yeah. Was Brozier Chelsea?
Brozier's on his way out. He hasn't happened yet, but he's on his way out.
Yeah, Brozier's going to Burnley. That's 6.
Tyreek George is going to RB Leipzig. They're selling him to Leipzig. 7. Who else? We're only doing ones.
Hang on, I'm being really lazy. Why don't I just bring up Chelsea's transfer market?
That's what I've just pulled up here.
Here we go. Chelsea's transfer market. Right.
Honestly. Oh my god. We're missing out mad amounts. We're not. By the way, guys, we're not even counting out the ones that are going out on loan here. We're talking about ones they're selling. Do you want me to read them out?
Hang on. I'm just bringing.
Okay.
Transfers. all transfers.
The White Rooster. Has Sergio Reguilon found a new home yet? That's brilliant. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? For players we've let go.
So Chelsea. Oh my god, we've missed loads. Right.
Yeah.
So Chelsea have sold Madueke, Yao Felix, Petrovic, Amugu, Humphreys, Pepper, Bettinelli, Dewsbury Hall, Chukwuemeka, Ugachukwu, right?
Broge is about to be announced. It's not here we go just yet.
Bro's about to be 11. That's going to be over £200 million in sales, right? We have managed to get 1 million for Keeley and about 15 to 20 million for Son.
Do you know what's just absolutely bonkers, by the way? What's genuinely bonkers? Like, they're selling players I forgot they signed.
Oh, man.
I didn't even remember when they signed Amagugu they bought him from St Etienne last season. Now they're selling him to Strasbourg. Like, they've let, and then, by the way, we haven't even talked about the ones they're letting out on loan as well. Like, they're letting about 6 of them go out on loan. They've already let out Kendry Paez, Penders, the goalkeeper, Sarr on loan. They released Bergstrom, who was released and went to Mallorca on a free. Like, I put in the chat earlier. Yao Hato is the 49th signing for Chelsea in 4 years. Do you know what and that's just income. It's not just signings. That's just incomes, including loan players. Do you know what Tottenham's 49th player was that we brought in? Can you guess? Anyone in the chat can guess. If you get it right, fair play. I bet
49th player under Levy.
the 49th player, the 49th recent player that we brought in. If anyone in the chat gets it right,
I don't understand the wording. The 49 most recent player.
So we brought the last 49 players that have come into our football club.
I see.
What was the 49th player? So just so you know, so Hato is 49th in the last 4 years for Chelsea. They've signed 49 players in the last 4 years. Who was our 49th? Work it back. Think about how many we signed and try and work how many years back it is.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Anyone in the chat? If anyone in the chat gets
it.
No. Further back. I'll give you a clue. It's further back than Ndombele.
Oh gosh.
Luxto's gone Gascoigne. We signed a few more than that.
49. Okay, what about Nkudu?
Close. He was 40. I think he was 48. I think, or he was close. He was close to it. That gives you a bit of another clue.
Oh God.
No, I think no. Sorry, no. I think he was no. Sorry, no. He was a little further on. He was a little further on. Actually, it's not as old as that.
Give us a clue, otherwise we're going to be here all day.
He was under Jose. Under Jose times. And by the way, that's including loan players as well, by the way. That's including loan players.
Gedson Fernandes.
It is Gedson Fernandes.
Is it Gedson Fernandes?
Gedson Fernandes was our 49th player that came into our football club. Just to put into clarity onto what...
and this is the 49th under their new owners?
Have their new owners been there for... I just read the stat that he was the 49th player in 4 years. So if their owners have been there 4 years, then yes.
Well, look, but by the way, when I saw this comment, listen, Luton Dan, I feel like you've missed the point of this comment. This comment wasn't that people would go to their players first, but what we're saying is they've got players like Agumu, who's not played, Chukwuemeka, who's not played, Brozier, who's not played, yeah, Achugwu, who's not played. They managed to sell them. They managed to find them homes and sell them. Tottenham can't find a home for Basuma, who does play. Tottenham can't, we've got to be better at selling. We've got to be better at selling, haven't we?
It's crazy. But the thing, do you know what I find crazy, right? Do you know what I find crazy? They get transfer fees for them. It's not like they've got in a player and gone, oh, you're not very good, and then they've just let him go for £5 million. They get transfer fees for him. They bought. Dewsbury Hall's a good example, right? He came in, went not good enough. He came in for the Conference League, and then they're getting the same amount of money that they got for him 12 months later. It's crazy.
So they Dewsbury Hall was last summer, right?
Yeah, they signed him last summer for 29 million euros or 25 million pounds. And they're getting him, he's going for about the same sort of price tag.
That is, I tell you what, I always say this, for as much as we knock them, whoever is working night and day in those Chelsea recruitment teams, they are working hard because they have got players coming in. And so far this window, what did we say? Was that 12 sold, 13 sold?
Outgoings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then the 3 others. So 14. That's outgoings including loans.
So 14. No, without loans.
Oh, without the loans, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yeah.
Right. So without the loans, 10, including the 3 today. Probably add Renato Vega to that list and Nkunku as well. Yeah. Right. That'll probably be 12. Whilst they've bought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 already. And that doesn't even include what will probably be Garnacho and Simmons. So that is over, that, if I'm not wrong, that is over 25 bits of business that recruitment team are juggling in one window. And we are doing
we couldn't understand the whole Gibbs White saga. It was crazy. But you talk about, how can they do it? Imagine our fan base having to deal with Chelsea's ins and outs. Our fan base fall in love with players very quickly. You can't do that. Imagine. Oh my God, you can't sell Penders, or you can't sell Dewsbury Hall. Oh, you can't let I can't say his name go. Like our we're a very connected fan base in the sense of we love our players. I mean, look at the reaction we have when we sell anyone. Like it's crazy.
Isn't it? Let me do some super chats. We'll come back to this. Big up to Jack Spurs. Thank you very much, my man, for the super sticker. Very generous. Maybe we're going to start a super sticker train. Thank you to all those that have liked as well. Only 303 likes today, which has been somewhat disappointing. And how many subscribers have we had? We've had 5 new subscribers, guys. Really, really disappointing tonight. Not many likes, not many subscribers, but thank you very much, Jack. Really appreciate you. Big up to Mark Taylor. Said, Savva, has there ever been a youngest you thought wasn't great? A youngster that you thought wasn't great, then proven you wrong? I mean, Harry Kane.
yeah. Harry Kane's the easy one, though, isn't it? Yeah, Harry Kane. I think we all trying to think of ones that aren't Harry Kane that I went, oh, I never thought you'd make it, but you actually did. Just thinking of anyone because Harry Kane is the easy one, isn't it?
I mean, if we're talking about Tottenham.
Tottenham.
I don't know.
Actually, I've got one. I thought Gareth Bale weren't ever going to make it.
I really liked Gareth Bale at Southampton, so I could see what I had.
But yeah, when he came with Tottenham,
I watched him for the England under teams, and I thought, God, this guy's crap. Like, this guy's crap. Yeah. But Kane's a once in a while. When you say proven wrong, I mean, there's been many people who have come through into the Spurs team and had a few senior games and then moved on. I don't know if that counts as proving wrong. Like Skip, I didn't think he was great. I never thought he was great. I don't know if he proved me wrong or not. I don't think so.
I think Mark might correct me in the sense of what I was going to say was on what you were saying was more the sense of players that have gone to that elite level. Could use Kyle Walker. I didn't think Kyle Walker was going to be necessarily didn't think he was going to be there, but I always looked and went, it was almost, we were always told Cole Norton was the better one. And then Kyle Walker became the superstar. So maybe that's the one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's been a lot of players that I thought, God, they should never get a game in the first team. Then they do, and then they're gone within a couple of loans and they're gone and whatever. Scott said, Basuma was bought for 25 million. Surely we can get similar. I know he seems to be blocking it a bit, but telling me is out of the plans. We can find a fit. I do think he'll go. Scott, I do think he'll go. I think he's going to have seen from these pre-season games that the first choice is going to be Bentancur. Now Paulina's come in. That pushes him one down. Bergval, Sarr. Great. I do think that we will move Basuma on. I've just got a feeling it's going to be very late in the day.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, right? In the sense, do you know what I think? Has he got 1 year? He's got 2 years left, hasn't he? He's not 1 year left on his contract, has he?
He's got 1 year left.
Really?
Got 1 year left, which is probably why he's staying. Which is probably why he didn't want to move.
I don't
think about his payday.
Yeah, I don't think he goes anywhere then if he's got 1 year left, because his agent we sitting there going, sit tight 1 more year. Yeah, and you get the free reign wherever you're going to get game time. You'll get free reign where you want to go. Just sit tight, be a good boy at Tottenham, and you can go wherever you want to go.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. By the way, just seen from, if I'm not wrong, from Fabrizio Romano that Chelsea, if I'm not wrong, are advancing in personal terms with Alessandro Garnacho. Sorry, that these guys. Do you know what? People will go, "Oh, rubbish signing." If he don't work out, you know what they'll do next year?
Sell him. Yeah.
Right. Do you know what? We're not ruthless enough. If a player doesn't work out for Spurs, we go, "Oh, give him a couple of years." Chelsea just go. See you later.
1 year. 1 year. You can't just decide on 1 year is the way we act. Chelsea go, if you're not good enough, goodbye. Talking of Fabrizio Romano, though, I'd love to know. He must have a team of people that do it, like his tweets, surely. So, slightly off topic, but I just thought about it just then. I went, how many people must he have sitting there doing tweets for him?
Oh, loads. Loads. Yeah, look, Wayne, I mean, listen, Chelsea won't give a shit about £1 million,
Yeah,
will they?
million
Let's
quid.
be.
What?
I look at the amount we lose. Oh, by the way, I saw you've lost Ndidi today, haven't you? Was it Besiktas?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was Besiktas.
it's £6 million clause, wasn't it?
Tom Carroll, technically superb, the boy. Just no presence about him. Very good little passer of the ball. Really good technical player, but just didn't quite have enough. Yes. I remember Stephen Slade. Yes. I remember Stephen Slade. Yes. God, that makes me really old, doesn't it? Yeah, look, I mean, what we've got to remember is I don't disagree. We can use him as a make weight for someone, but he's got to want to go. You know, Spurs can't dictate to him. By the way, let me just use an example. By the way, we've accepted a swap deal for you and Paqueta, for example. If Basuma says, I don't want to go to West Ham, you can convince him, you can put him in the reserves, you can do what. If he doesn't want to go, there's your problem, right, Perch? Like, you can't.
I think that's been our biggest issue, right? We've got a very, very comfortable players that will, and this is why I always say, when you've got a player left with 1 year left on his contract, and they're not what I would say elite players, because elite players, if they've got 1 year left on their contract, teams will go out and buy him. Basuma's not on that level, right? So he'll go, well, I'll sit it out. And I'll get what I want in, and I'll get a big payoff. And instead of Tottenham getting the payment, he'll get it in a sign-on fee.
Yeah, well, look, let's. I've got another super chat here from Ethan Bates. I've been saving this one because I really, Ethan for me always hits the nail on the head. Always hits the nail on the head. This lad, big up, Ethan, top guy. So the problem is most clubs have 1 or 2 kids that come through per season, i.e. Connor Bradley, Nico O'Reilly, Waneri, Lewis Kelly. Because we've bolstered our squad with kids, we're pressuring 5 to come in and grow simultaneously. And Ethan, this is why when everyone keeps saying, buy that kid, buy that kid, buy that kid, buy that kid, 2 things happen. I'm not teaching you to suck eggs here. Obviously, this is what you just said, Ethan, but 2 things happen. 1, you just fill the squad with kids that can't all get game time at once. 2, you block the pathway to the academy. So let's look at it like this, right? I don't know. I've got notes on my screen, a sticky note, but I'm not sure I can bring it up. No, I can't. Let's have a look at these young players have all been bought in, Ethan, right? And to everyone, these young players have all been bought into Spurs recently. All right. You got Kinski. Okay. You've got Takai, Adogi. Like, these were all bought young.
Yeah.
Adogi, Gray, Bergval, Saar. Right? That's 6. Yeah. Right? Tell is 7. Odegaard is 8. Brian Hill was signed as a kid. That's 9. Right? Vuskovic, that's 10. Phillips, that's 11. Valise, that's 12. The problem you've got is you've signed 12 young players, and then people are going, well, where's the academy? Well, the academy now don't need to break into the first team. The academy now need to break over the young players that you've just signed. And
Yang,
do you see what I mean? Yang, 13. So Spurs have signed, in the last 3 years, Spurs have signed 13 young players. I believe they all came in as teenagers, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. We're not, yeah. and you're not even counting the ones that went straight into the academy as well, by the way. You've got all those lots. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. People like Melia and these, of course, right? Boast or whatever. Right. And then we're going, well, what about the youngsters? Well, hang on. We've just bought a layer of youngsters on top of them.
Yeah.
So you've got academy, young signings, first team. So rather than what it used to be back in the day of first team youth, you've now added an extra layer in there. And then people are going, oh, like what? Stella and I will have a debate tonight about the academy. He'll say that Frank's not keeping any of them, not coaching them. But Frank's already got a coach. Tell, Odegaard, Adogi, Saar, Bergval, Gray. How many kids, Takai, Kinski, how many kids can you have in your team at once?
And that's the key bit, right?
Much
Yeah,
love. That is very
very,
generous.
very good question. Good point there. And I think that's the key bit, right? We have and this is the problem, right? As I said, I'll go back to what I said at the beginning, right? What I said at the beginning of this conversation. I have no issues with us signing these kids if our aim is just to use it as a way to make money to buy better players in the first team. So you bring in like, for example, and I mentioned it, I think you were off the screen for a sec for the moment. Like, you mentioned to anyone, well, look, we're going to sell Bergwijn for 40, 50 million quid. People lose their marbles. We'll go
Mad.
And it's like they've been here 12 months. Like, my point is I use Bergwijn as an example because he's the one that I think stepped through. You could say that about Mikey Moore. Oh, I can't sell him for 40 million quid. Why not? He's not done anything to just explain. I'm using those as just examples, right? Moore. If you asked about selling Vuskovic, any one of these kids, Chelsea will, by the way. Man City will. That's the difference. If you're going to keep buying kids, don't be scared if we're selling them. But we don't seem to... We just stockpile, but then don't let the stock go. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No. Of course. Look, I've said this for ages. It's all well and good when people just want to sign kids. Like Mappin said earlier, didn't he? We need to stockpile kids. I've just named 13 kids that are on loan. Like, we've got 13 on loan. We've got about 7 or 8 in our 25-man senior squad. That's over 20 young players. 20.
It's nuts. And
can't keep doing it as a football club. Can't keep doing it.
And the problem, what happens is it works out fine now because a lot of them don't need to be registered, so they can be in and about the team. But the second they get to 22, you've got to start registering these players. And then at what stage? What do you do then? Because there's only so much. And the problem is what people think. And people think it's like FIFA and all this lot, where if you just buy a load of young kids, they'll all naturally grow. It doesn't work like that. Players need time to develop. But if there's 5 other kids in that same level, you're not going to develop at that same level because you're not getting the consistent game time.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Where are we? Paul D has said, not including strikers in the top 6, in top 6 plus Isak, name the Prem strikers you take over Solanke. Wissa.
Mateta.
Umbuemo. Cunha.
Just thinking, I'm just trying to go through the teams, not including the top 6 plus Isak. I'm just trying to think of who else is in that list.
You got Fulham. You've got
Muniz, maybe debatable.
Yeah, I don't see much difference between them.
Chris Wood, someone's good shout. Chris Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have.
Watkins.
I'll let you have. Yeah, Watkins was he in
Owen?
Yeah.
Clivert.
Evan Nilsson. Yeah, he's a good player.
Strand Larson. Someone said, listen, I think there's a lot of them that have been mentioned are probably level with Solanke, but I think therein lies the problem, right? That we're talking about our best striker isn't much better than the strikers at the teams in the bottom half of the table.
I don't think he's any better than Richarlison. I don't see where I go, you're better than Richarlison. Like, you're still better than Richarlison. I think they're about the same level. And that concerns me when you've got 2 players that are on the same level like that. Yeah. It worries me. Someone said Danny Welbeck. Do you know what? Just because he played for Arsenal, fair play to Danny Welbeck playing at the level he plays at consistently, by the way. Credit to him.
Nottingham Forest have just signed somebody as well, by the way. Nottingham Forest have just signed Angus Gunn, the former Norwich goalkeeper. There you go. Angus Gunn. Guys and girls, on that note, I'm going to send everyone over for the Spurs 5. And I need a wee and I need to get some water. Not at the same time, not from the same room. Perchy, thank you very much. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Always love a little bit of the What Are We Doing Here podcast.
It's always fun. Can I be a little bit shameless? And by the way, guys, I'm doing some stuff on YouTube, more shorts and stuff. Check them out. at Perchy YT. Go check it out. I'm doing that on TikTok. If you want to go check me out on TikTok, I'm trying to do some more editing, more than like this sort of stuff. So yeah, that'll be wicked if you're able to. At Perchy YT, or if someone in the chat can whack in there, that'd be wicked.
Yeah, if any of my mods could quickly whack in Perchy's YouTube link in there, that would be amazing. Listen, tried our best to keep you entertained, guys. There you go. Ryan's always on it. Big up, Ryan G. Thank you very much. Big up to you. Listen, please get over there, subscribe to Perchy. Top guy, honestly. On YouTube, away from YouTube, top guy, always helps me with everything I need as well. So please go and smash that button. I need to go and log into the Spurs 5. I'm going to send you all over there. This link will take you straight there. Much love. Take care. Thank you to all the people with the generous super chats. Thank you to the 5 people that subscribed. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.